Indian scientists have made two path-breaking inventions in aviation technology recently. Two Indian Institute of Technologies, one based in Jodhpur and another based in Chennai, made two inventions that are going to change the aviation industry in India beyond imagination in the coming days. One was made by Chennai IIT, which invented a technology that would enable aircrafts to vertically take off and land. This was made using, hybrid rocket thrusters. The other invention was made by Jodhpur IIT. They invented an alloy which could withstand temperatures of over 1000 degree and still without losing their tensile strength or their quality. So these two inventions are going to help India's aviation sector. India has been trying very hard to build a supply chain system within the country for the aviation sector. India has not yet successfully made a jet engine, though it has been trying very hard for that. But at the same time, India has succeeded in building an ecosystem which contributes parts to even some of the biggest aviation companies in the world, including Boeing and Airbus. So let's check how these two inventions are going to help India's aviation sector in the coming days. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. The other day, India's media published detailed reports on two inventions, one by IIT Jodhpur and another by IIT Chennai. Let me start with the invention of IIT Jodhpur. IIT Jodhpur developed an ultra light and ultra strong alloy. It is for the time being it is named as TRCA. Currently, the alloys in aircraft engines are too heavy or they lose strength once the temperatures are high. But this new alloy is not like that. Even at temperatures of around 1000 degrees centigrade, they are said to outperform nickel based super alloys. So this is a great achievement, and in the coming days, this is going to help India to reduce the weight of aircraft, to reduce the weight of aircraft engines. That means the aircrafts are going to become more fuel efficient. Again, this is going to help create its own its own jet engine. There are many benefits to this invention. This is going to be immensely helpful. Maybe this is not confined to the aviation sector. This could be used in the space sector also. So this is a path-breaking invention, no doubt about that. Then let's come into the invention of IIT Chennai or Madras. So they combined real-time hybrid rocket thruster with virtual simulations, and they have been successful in creating a technology that is going to enable vertical takeoff and landing. That is going to be path breaking really. If that becomes commercially viable, you don't need runways to take off an aircraft. For the passenger aircraft industry and for the defense sector, this is going to be of immense importance. You know, when two countries are at war, nowadays what one country does is to destroy the airfields, to destroy airstrips. Once you do that, you can be sure that the fighter jets of the other country are not going to take off. But once this technology is perfected, even it doesn't need an airstrip, an airport. So the meaning is that your fighter jets can take off from anywhere. Again, when it comes to drones also, this is applicable. Nowadays, these medium altitude, long endurance mail drones or high altitude, long endurance hail drones, they need airstrips almost like that are needed by aircrafts. So, if this technology is perfected, vertical takeoff and landing like a helicopter is possible for big aircrafts, big drones. So, a country with this technology is definitely going to get an upper hand when it comes to war. So, this technology holds immense benefits. Again, when you don't need to build huge airports spending hundreds of millions of rupees for getting a passenger aircraft landed. It means that you just need to clear a space. It needs to be safe for landing. That's it. So this is going to be, I mean, this is going to change the aviation industry lock, stock, and barrel. No doubt about that. These are two path-breaking innovations. And when it comes to this hybrid thruster for the rocket, the Indian newspaper reports say that they are going to use compressed air. You don't need to use chemicals. You don't need to use cryogenic technology to create liquid oxygen. So this is wonderful. You combine a solid fuel with a gaseous oxidizer, and that's as simple as that. That is going to help you control your the engine thruster perfectly, and this is going to make the landing and takeoff process very easy. So for India, which is trying to build an ecosystem, which is trying to build a supply chain for the aviation industry, this is going to be handy. India has been trying very hard to build an ecosystem for aviation industry. The aircraft engine, Kaveri engine, which India made, was not found powerful enough to drive its light combat aircraft Tejas. So India has to depend on American jet engines, that is specifically F404 engines from GE, and for the future projects also India has entered into a contract with GE. But again, India is facing problems there because GE is not supplying engines on time. There has been huge delay in the supply of engines by GE, and this has actually landed India's fighter jet program in a quandary. Now India is trying to enter into an agreement with Safran, jet engine makers from France, to develop its own engine and to perfect the existing Kaveri jet engine. India is still working on derivatives of Kaveri jet engine. So here everywhere you are going to need alloys, super alloys, which can withstand high temperatures without losing their strength. So this technology developed by Jodhpur IIT is going to come in handy in that area. Anyway, it seems that the new strategy of India to combine the prowess of higher education institutions with industrial houses is paying off. The country never did that earlier. Research and developments in the commercial sector were insular to higher education institutions. That was the foolish attitude earlier followed in the country. But now the country has changed. For example, Indian Institute of Technologies and other engineering colleges in the country have tied up with industrial houses, with India's premier defense research and development agency DRDO, with ISRO, etc. So this has started yielding results for the country. Hope the country is going to build on this approach in the industrial research and development. Meet you with updates. Till then, goodbye.